All right, another thing we're gonna come across often on our adventures, depending if you're doing a lot of demo cleanup or contractor cleanup, you're gonna come across faucets. I come across them often out of the scrapyard. So with a faucet, every single one is different. I'm excited to always take them apart because in a typical faucet, you're gonna have at least 4 different types of metal. So in this one already, I can tell I'm gonna have brass, I have copper, I have steel, and I have something unknown. Might be stainless, might be steel, might be plastic, we don't know. The nicer the manufacturer, like your Moens and Kohlers, the better. So I'm gonna start taking this thing apart. The thing is with faucets, is they're all built differently, and so you just have to kind of figure out what's the next best thing. So I can see I got some screws, I wanna take those off. Also, I start by twisting and turning anything and everything I can, and you just eventually take it apart. I also have something like this. This is brand new in box. Like this is nice and easy, right? You can see what's going on. There's no corrosion, right? This is what it looks like when it's new in box. This is what it looks like when it's been underneath someone's sink for 15 years. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes here, take this thing apart, and figure out what we're looking at. So again, this is your drain stick thingy. I'm sure there's a plumber on here like losing his mind that I'm calling the things the wrong thing. So if you want to tell me what these things are that you know better, by all means.
What do you call it? Whatchamacallit?
Whatchamacallit? You can ask for it by name.
Give me that.
Give me what?
Oh.
All I know is this is the sticky thingy that goes in the drain and make it go up and down, so when you're shaving, you can have a sink full of water. That's it. It's that thing. All right, so that's exciting. This sticks to the magnet. This does not. So we're gonna put this in the, yay, bucket. So my daughter, she'll help me scrap sometimes, and she loves it when she finds stuff that sticks to the magnet, and I have to explain to her that that's ferrous, and she should be more excited about non-ferrous metal. So get excited when it doesn't stick. All right, so we pulled that off. As we can see inside, we got a copper line, we got some brass. We definitely have steel because we have stuff that's corroding and rusting. So a lot of times with faucets and things like that, if you can take it apart by hand, that's the best way to do it. If not, you just start, or I'm saying not by hand, but with tools do that. If not, you just start breaking it. So here, even though this whole thing is rusted, where it's actually inside here, the other metals, it's actually not rusted. So I should be able to twist this thing off with some ease, even though it looks like complete crap. Okay, so that's what I was talking about here. So the whole thing is rusted, except for the thing that I don't want rusted. So I was actually able to twist that off. That I'm gonna go in, it goes in a sheet iron. When you have something that's got heavy, heavy rust on it, and it's rusting in place, you know it's sheet iron. Like there's no reason to mess around. If it's got surface rust, that's one thing, but this thing here, the whole thing is rusted. And again, little techniques like this. I love having channel locks around. You don't have to be as precise as a crescent wrench. There's nice little channel locks. All right, here I have 2 screws holding this thing in place. I'm obviously not gonna get those off, and I'm not looking to salvage this thing to be precise, so I just wanna bust that out. All right, I haven't cut these lines off yet because I still use this to maneuver what I want with the faucet. I'm looking at the faucet head here. Not exactly sure how it comes apart, so I just start twisting it and seeing if it starts getting loose or what's happening, and that'll help me identify how it comes apart. And if that doesn't work, I know I have plastic here. I also have some piece of steel that's holding this whole thing together. So I'm figuring out what is holding the whole thing together. And if all else fails, you hit it with a hammer, which is probably where I'm gonna come down to here in a second. Again, I'm not an engineer. Some engineer's probably losing his mind. Looks like there's a shaft there. A lot of times these things are screwed together and put together so that they don't come apart, right? Engineers build things so we don't take them apart. So I'm gonna take things apart the way I was taught as a kid, use a hammer. There it goes. Stupid. See, I just want to get at that screw. That's all I wanted to do. I was hitting it wrong. There it goes. See? All I need to do with my life. I don't even know how, I have no idea how I would have taken that apart otherwise. All right, so let's figure out what we got. All right, this piece here did not stick to the magnet, but I smashed it up pretty good. It looks like it's aluminum. All right, something like this, aluminum, cast aluminum. I'm not making my money on this aluminum. I'll take it apart because I already got it this far, and I'm stubborn. And it fell on the other side. I guess that'll be another episode when I go dig that thing out. All right, this is what I'm excited about. I'm excited about this piece, and these pieces. That's what I'm really excited about, because I have a pretty good idea of what I'm up against and what I want. All right, so here, handy dandy file, show you what we're working with, starting at the top. Come up here, remember it's silver on the outside, on the inside, it is copper in color, which means it's copper. Yay, we like copper. Right, I'm gonna come here to this grommet. Oh, not this grommet, these nuts. All right, so you can see here, first nut, brass, second nut, brass, and then we got some more copper. In between, that's brass. So a lot of times you can mix in a little brass with copper, they won't get too upset, or you can mix in a little copper with brass. So you gotta figure out kind of what is more of. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bend that off. I'm gonna take this to the chop saw, cut that off. So I'm gonna have these two pieces of brass, a little bit of copper. That'll be good enough for brass. The rest of this will go in as copper. So again, do what you can with your hands first. Try to keep this as big as possible. If you do what I just did there, I bent it a little early. I don't wanna do that. So another technique here, take a channel locks, put it where you wanna bend it, and that'll bend or break right where you want it. So you can do that even here. I don't have to take that one piece to the saw if I don't want to. I can just bend it and I'll get a good enough snip where, again, we're talking brass and copper. They're both pretty good metals. Most scrap yards are not gonna get too worked up about that. So like this piece here, once I take it off, majority of the weight is brass, and actually copper's worth more, so that can go in with brass all day, it's not a problem. Again, if you don't have a chop saw, you just wanna do things by hand and efficiently, bend it, channel locks, bring it back here, basically snip it off per se, goes right in with brass. These two pieces here, I'm gonna put in as copper number 2 because I have some plating on them, a little bit of brass. So that'll go copper 2. These lines here will go in as copper 1 because the green discoloration isn't considered painting, it's just how it oxidizes. Twist that off, twist this off. All right, left of this shaft, this is mostly brass. I can see that brass in color. I can also grind on it. You can see it's brass throughout. And from there, it's basically gonna cut out these two pieces of copper. Again, you can do it by hand, you can use a chop saw, whatever's gonna be most efficient for you. If you're doing like 40, 50 faucets at once, yeah, use the chop saw, right? If you're doing one at a time, then just use your hands and take care of it. Doing something I've never done before. I don't think I've ever used 2 channel locks at the same time. Good enough. All right, so that goes in as copper. This piece, it's got some imperfections in it, but it's copper imperfections, so it's fine. So that goes in as brass. Scrapyard will not be upset about that. All right, then we have these two pieces. Actually, this is probably the heaviest piece of all the pieces is this piece. That's where I really wanted to get at it and figure out what's going on there. I got a piece in here. Ooh, that's interesting. All right, you know what? I should have known this. Now that I look at this, it's driving me nuts. I know exactly what happened here. All right, see this little hot cold thing? It's not just a hot cold thing. Right? What it is it's also the plate where the screw is underneath. So I said at the top of the video, look for things that are obvious, and I wasn't smart enough to look for something that was obvious. So right here, I can now see there's a little Allen screw. I got to pull that out. Of course, I don't have an Allen wrenches with me. Second to last piece here, this big old piece, I grind it on it. From there, I'm going to hit it with a hammer, see what happens. All right, so it hits back pretty hard. So because it's silver in color, it hits back pretty hard. Does not stick to a magnet, and it's also found in a bathroom, right? That's kind of the key. Bathrooms, kitchens, faucets, and things like that. Typically are going to be stainless. All right, so here we are. I'm stubborn. I didn't bring all the right tools, but I have all the right tools. So I brought my DeWalt toolkit. Total shameless. We're not sponsored at all, first and foremost. I used to work for Black & Decker DeWalt, so I'm definitely biased towards DeWalt tools. Even though I'm only a few blocks from the Milwaukee headquarters, like 4 blocks from Milwaukee World headquarters, still the DeWalt guy. I'm a yellow guy, right? So shameless on the yellow, shameless plug. Other shameless plug, Costco. I love me some Costco.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
$120 commercial, whatever a year. I buy these DeWalt toolkits for $99 a piece. I bought more than I would like to share, mostly because our guys lose them. These are the best. This is the best $100 you'll spend on your business if you're in the junk removal business. So if you want to get by with those like little $20, $30 cheapy sets where you lose one thing and you lose them, I don't play that game. Buy the $100 DeWalt. It's like 148 pieces, saves your life. And in this case, where I need an Allen key, I got them right here. So take this Allen key. I'm going to finish this thing so we can finish this video. I can feel good about myself because right now I'm not feeling great that I didn't have the right tools for the job. Oh, that ain't it. What do I got? Metric here? Nope. See, I grabbed metric. It's a mowing. which means it's probably standard, not metric. I could be wrong. I've never really figured out Allen keys. Like, I know how they work, obviously, but I never can figure out who uses metric and who uses the imperial system, the English system. English don't even use the English system. How stupid is that? All right, so I did find it. So yes, most of your American-made things, again, correct me if I'm wrong, are going to use imperial system when it non-cars. I don't know anything about cars, so car guys, don't beat me up here. And I bent it when I was breaking it up earlier because I was too lazy to find it. And now, again, this is total life lesson while I'm sitting here twisting this stupid thing, is when it comes to scrap and life and business and everything else, you either put the work in on the front end or you put it on the back end. So I chose not to bring out tools. I chose not to look to see how to take this thing apart. And now it's taking me longer, but I'm still going to make mission. It's just taking me longer because I chose not to set myself up for success. Total soapbox fucking shit, but hey, I needed to hear it. So sometimes when you need to hear something in the world, you got to say it first. So next time I'm like, hey, let's go shoot videos. I will remember to bring my tools and not look like an idiot here after the fact. And, you know, not spend all day fucking taking out one little Allen thing. This is turning into a cash flow negative endeavor. Oh, here's another cheat. If you got an Allen wrench that's being stubborn, you can always put a pliers on it. It's a total cheat my dad taught me, right? And it acts as like a, what do you call it? Like a fulcrum. Fulcrum sounds good. Other thing with Allen keys, never set them down. You notice earlier I grabbed the wrong one, I put it in right away. Because if you put an Allen key down, 100% of the time you will lose it. That's it. Not 60, not 50, not 80, 100% of the time you're gonna lose it. So I'm gonna put those by themselves over there where they can't get mixed in with the scrap. All right, now I found the two pieces I really wanted, right? So first thing, magnet on that bad boy, not steel. We're gonna take a look, see what that is. Also still not steel. Let's take a look. Grind, grind, grind. It's already slipping, so I have a good idea. Yeah, I can't even get the file to go on it hardly. It's dancing all over the place. It's got some weight to it. I don't need to hit it with a hammer. The other piece was stainless. That piece is stainless. Come in here. Ooh, nice and soft. Goes right in. It'd be very malleable if I had it. It's gonna go in as aluminum. We started earlier, we had this piece here. Oh, look at that, right? Steel. Magnets never lie. Magnets aren't women. They never lie. All right, last piece, the train rod thinking. Oh, this piece here. People get excited like, oh, it's shiny. Shiny's not a good description. Does it stick to a magnet, yes or no? Look at that. Oh, it sticks to a magnet? Shiny doesn't mean anything. There's some thing they do to steel to make it, whatever, more impermeable to rust. I have no idea what it is. Someone comment below and tell me what that is, right? It's still steel. I don't know. All right, last piece here. The dipstick rod thingy.
Whatchamacallit?
I really want it to be brass because I just do. Let's go. Brass for the W. Big fan of brass. Shout out to my guy Marco and Fabio, the dream team here. Take a look real quick. He's sitting in a Gaylord of brass because that was the best angle. But you know what? In the scrap world, you got to live it. You got to breathe it. You got to feel it. And sometimes you got to get in the bin. So if you're out there scrapping, making the dream happen, you got to go out there, get your hands dirty, figure out what you can and cannot make money on. Do it the wrong way, do it the right way, find the best way. But the only way you're going to do it is by getting out there, getting your hands dirty. So another episode of Scrapping 101, making it up as we fucking go. I'm Andy Wines with Camo Crew Junk Removal. We'll see you next time.